The 10 biggest naval bases in the USA. So I've seen a photo of a military base that looked like, honestly, a small town. Like, it genuinely looked like there was at least, I think there were like tens of thousands of soldiers that were living at this base, which genuinely is bigger than some small towns. Like, and it made me think, man, like how big, like, and that wasn't even the biggest one. So how big are the biggest naval bases, the biggest military bases in the US? Like, they must be just like cities almost.
Hello everyone, you are watching the channel Incredible Facts. American naval bases are very well equipped.
Wow,
they contain warships, submarines, and aircraft for various purposes. Today, we've prepared...
Dude, size of that plane! Jesus, look at the size of it!
Today, we've prepared a list for you, in which we will find out which naval base in the United States is the largest. Patuxent River. Naval Air Station Patuxent River is located on a peninsula between Chesapeake Bay and Patuxent River. The base occupies 6,400 acres of land.
Sick plane, that's a B-2, isn't it?
And houses 24,700 people, making it the 10th biggest naval base in...
Hang on, how many people? How many?
Making it the 10th big 4,700 and houses 24,700 people, making it the 10th biggest naval base in the US. Patuxent River was commissioned in April 1943 with the primary mission of providing operating support and services for aircraft and ship or shore electronics. The base records more than 165,000 aircraft movements per year. It is home to more than 50 tenant commands and is controlled by the Naval District, Washington. It hosts the Naval Air Systems Command and the Naval Air Warfare Center Aircraft Division headquarters.
Man, 24,000 people and it's just number 10. That's wild. Just seeing all those soldiers must be just...
Coronado. Naval Base Coronado, the largest command in the Southwest, is home to 27,000 military and civilian personnel. The base occupies more than 50,000 acres, including airfields, ports, and training ranges. The Coronado is formed of 8 naval installations, including Naval Air Station North Island, Naval Amphibious Base Coronado, Naval Outlying Landing Field Imperial Beach, Naval Auxiliary Landing Field San Clemente Island, Silver Strand Training Complex, Mountain Warfare Training Camp Michael Monsoor, Camp Marina, and Remote Training Site Warner Springs. The base supports the U.S. Pacific Fleet and is home to 16 helicopter squadrons, 2 fixed-wing squadrons, 2 aircraft carriers, 4 SEAL teams, and Navy Expeditionary Combat Command squadrons.
Wow. I mean, 50,000 acres. Like, how big is the U.S. in terms of acres? Because 50,000 acres sounds like, you know, you could fit a small country into that.
Fort Worth. Naval Air Station Joint Reserve Base Fort Worth houses 27,098 personnel, including active duty members, reserves, family members, as well as federal and civilian employees. The base was set up in October 1994 as the first Joint Reserve Base in the U.S. and hosts a variety of units from the U.S. Navy, Marine Corps, Air Force, Army, and Texas Air National Guard. The Fort Worth accommodates 40 separate commands and supports the training activities of troops in all branches of the armed services. The base supports the operations of C-40 Clipper, F-16 Fighting Falcon, C-130 Hercules, FA-18 Hornet, KC-130 Hercules, and RC-12 aircraft.
Wow, look at that. I didn't realize that there were so many different types of heavy, like big airplanes, like the military use. Like that one from earlier was just
Mayport.
Ridiculous.
Naval Station Mayport has a base population of 34,315 and occupies 3,409 acres on the banks of the St. Johns River, about 24 kilometers east of Jacksonville. Mayport includes a busy seaport and an airfield. The naval base was formally commissioned in December 1942 and served as a strategic asset during the Cuban Missile Crisis. Operation Desert Shield, Operation Desert Storm, Operation Desert Fox, and Operation Allied Force. The base is home for 70 tenant units, 20 naval vessels, and 6 helicopter squadrons, and houses up to 34 ships. The runway of the naval station can accommodate all types of aircraft in the Department of Defense inventory.
It's no wonder that the US military budget is, $800 odd billion, because you got like the salaries alone for all of these personnel must be massive. Like in everything else, the ships.
Corpus Christi. Naval Air Station Corpus Christi, situated on the southeast side of Corpus Christi in Texas, accommodates 43,287 personnel, including active duty members, employees, retirees, and family members.
This might have been the one that I saw, like 43,000, something like that.
Corpus Christi was commissioned in March 1941 and trained 35,000 naval aviators by the end of World War II. It was the only facility providing primary, basic, and advanced training in the U.S. and trains about 600 aviators each year currently. The Naval Air Station is home to Training Air Wing 4 and Corpus Christi Army Depot, serving the rotary wing aircraft of the U.S. Department of Defense. The base maintains facilities to support aviation training and other missions.
If any of you guys lived on a base, what was it like? What's it like living on a military base or a naval base like this? Do you have all the same amenities that you did as in a civilian place, or how is it different?
Kitsap. Naval Base Kitsap on the Kitsap Peninsula is home to more than 40,000 on-duty and support personnel, including 12,825 active duty members, 14,071 civilian employees, and 18,700 family members. The base was formed by combining the former naval station Bremerton and Naval Submarine Base Bangor in 2004 and supports the U.S. Navy fleet operating across West Puget Sound. The Naval Base Kitsap served...
Man, look at the size of this aircraft carrier. I know they're big, but just comparing it to this smaller ship, it really drives it home, man. These things are enormous.
The surface vessels and submarines based at Bremerton and Bangor. It is also connected with Puget Sound Naval Shipyard, where the majority of vessels and submarines are overhauled.
Man, they're so huge. I'd love to spend the night on an aircraft carrier.
San Diego. Naval Base San Diego in California serves as a primary home port for the Pacific Fleet and accommodates 48,000 military and civilian personnel, making it the fourth biggest naval base in the U.S. The U.S. Navy established a destroyer base in the city of San Diego in 1922. The base was renamed Repair Base San Diego during World War II and performed the overhaul, repair, and maintenance of more than 5,117 ships between 1943 and 1945. The base saw a major expansion during the Korean War and currently occupies an area of more than 2,000 acres. Naval Base San Diego is home to approximately 180 individual commands and 57 ships from the U.S. Navy, Coast Guard, and Military Sea Lift Command. It is also home port to the U.S. Navy's modern surface combatants, littoral combat ships.
Wow. Combat ships, but isn't that basically any type of ship that has weapons on it? Like the destroyers and the aircraft carriers?
Naval Air Station Jacksonville is the biggest Navy base in the Southeast region and the third largest in the U.S. The base received the 2013 Commander Navy Installations Command Excellence Award for the best large installation in the U.S. Sorry, there are no polls available at the moment. Jacksonville was established in 1940 in Duval County, near the bank of St. Johns River in northeast Florida. The base is spread over an area of around 3,400 acres. It currently accommodates 53,590 people, including non-appropriated fund employees, federal employees, Department of Defense personnel, contract employees, and family members. Jacksonville trains airmen for meeting high-impact warfighter needs and also supports U.S. and Allied troops specializing in anti-submarine warfare.
Wow. 53,000, we're getting into some crazy high numbers here. Like at this point, you might forget that you're on a military base. It would just feel like a normal sort of town, you know?
Pearl Harbor-Hickam. Joint Base Pearl Harbor-Hickam, located around 13 kilometers west of Honolulu, has more than 55,000 Marines and their families, as well as over 5,000 Air Force members and their families. The Pearl Harbor-Hickam was formed by realigning Naval Base Pearl Harbor and Hickam Air Force Base in October 2010. The U.S. Navy set up the naval base at Pearl Harbor in 1908, occupying a famous role in World War II. It occupies 27,694 acres of land and forms a vital element of U.S. defense, providing mooring, shoreside support, and maintenance to surface fleet and submarines, in addition to supporting air operations in the Pacific and Asian regions. Pearl Harbor is home to more than 160 commands as well as 11 ships, 19 submarines, and aircraft, including the C-17 Globemaster III, KC-135 Stratotanker, and F-22 Raptor.
How many planes, like if you were to try and calculate how many planes the US military has, like in total, how many planes do you reckon there are? It's got to be like, what, 25,000?
Norfolk. Naval Station Norfolk, the world's biggest naval base, is situated in southeastern Virginia in the Sewell's Point Peninsula of Norfolk City. The base was established in 1917 and covers an area of approximately 3,400 acres. The base provided training for the U.S. and its allied naval air units during World War II and currently houses 149,000 personnel, including active duty, family members and dependents, reservists, Department of Defense civilians, and joint forces. The Naval Station Norfolk ensures operational readiness of the U.S. Atlantic Fleet by providing facilities and installation services for the biggest concentration of the U.S. Navy, including 75 ships and 134 aircraft.
Just the scale of these naval bases, it really is super impressive, and I can see why it's so expensive. That's all, friends.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, I can see why running and funding the military is just so expensive. Like, when you have to pay all of these people, maintain all of the ships, all of the aircraft, the fuel alone must be several billion a year. Just the fuel for the planes. But as Europeans, we rely on the US military a lot, and I can see why the funding is necessary, because having the US as an ally has prevented so many conflicts, and it's just the US military is just so impressive, the scale of it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.